Welcome back to the Black and Gold Report. Again, talking to head cross-country coach Gary Aycock. And Coach, I wanted to ask you about qualifications. How does qualification for the regional runs and ultimately for the national championship work? Do teams qualify as a team? Do you qualify as individuals? What kind of criteria are involved in advancing?
Well, Kevin, there's opportunities for both. For the Southeast Region Championship, it's an open bid to any school that's in the region. And then right now, I think there's approximately around 40 schools within our region. And again, it's an open bid. So any team in the region can be on November 5th at the region championships in Charlotte. As far as qualification to the next level, the national championships, the NCAA takes the top 2 teams out of the Southeast region on both the men's and women's side, as well as the top 5 individuals in order of finish in that region championship.
Assuming they aren't a part of that team, right?
Well, if they're a member of the team, if any of those, let's just say that we were to sweep, I like to think like that. Let's just say we were to sweep the spots 1 through 5 at the region championship. The individuals that would qualify would be the next 2 from a different school outside of the top 5. But the level of competition within the Southeastern region right now would make that highly unlikely. Anything can happen. As I said, it comes down to race day. But that's basically how a team or an individual would qualify for the national championship.
It sounds like it's very difficult then if they're only taking the top 2 teams out of 40 potential teams that are going to run in the regionals. It's very tough to make it to the national championship then. We have high hopes, and I'm sure that you do and your men and women's teams do as well. I'm going to ask you some kind of odd questions here. Do you try to push your runners, particularly your newcomers, towards a particular type of shoe? Is there a shoe that works better in cross-country running?
Well, there's 2 different types of footwear that a distance runner or a cross-country athlete is going to work with, a training shoe and a race shoe. Now, here at UNC Pembroke, we are primarily an ASICS running team, which means that the majority of our apparel, the majority of our footwear is from the ASICS company. I don't particularly push them to a certain type of ASICS shoe. ASICS, as well as many other major shoe manufacturers, make a shoe designed basically for everyone, for anyone's foot strike, for their arch set. So basically we do some research, we do some testing with the athletes to see which training shoe is the best fit for that particular athlete. As far as the race shoe goes, you have a cross-country flat, which is basically a very lightweight, low cushion racing flat with no spike, no spike plate. Then we talk about the cross-country spike, and it would be chosen based on the terrain of the particular course we're racing, and it would have a spike plate with spikes anywhere from an eighth inch up to an inch long, depending on the terrain that we're running on. So it just takes some getting used to be able to find the right footwear for the right athlete.
Well, that makes a nice segue. I wanted to ask you about surfaces as well. Are there surfaces that you tell your runners to avoid, either on courses or elsewhere? And what about surfaces? You want to keep them off of asphalt or anything like that?
Right. What we try to do in training is try to mimic the race courses that we'll be seeing that particular week or at the end of the season in the championship series. Definitely, I tell them to avoid any paved surface, any hard surface. Try to stay on even ground. We try to do a lot of our running on grass when we can do that. The surface that the athlete trains on and races on, can have a direct effect, whether it's a good surface or bad surface, it can have a direct link to injuries that the athlete could be forced to deal with. But anyway, the surface is, we try to make it sports or course specific to where we're racing and where we're training.
All right. Well, what are some of the indicators besides simply shaving seconds off of their times that indicates that a player is growing and developing as a runner?
Well, as a collegiate student athlete, where I like to see that growth and development is in the balance in their life. And the student athlete has to deal with the academic stress, the social stress, as well as the athletic stress. And without one being in check, the others will falter as well. So good grades in the class, as well as shaving the time, as you said, as well as having a good time in school. Those are the components that make for that positive experience.
So you're trying to create that complete athlete, not just someone who's good on the track, but somebody who's good in the classroom and someone who develops those life skills that'll help them once they get out of college. All right, well, thanks a lot, Coach, and good luck in the national championships and the regional championships, and we hope to see you at the top of the list, right?
All right, I hope so.
That's all the time that we have for this week's edition of the Black and Gold Report. Until next week, go Braves.